What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How-To. Today I'm going to show you guys probably the best storage and organizing system that's out there on the market today. This is currently what I'm using to store all my screws, nuts, bolts, all my little bits and pieces. It is the most versatile and the strongest interlocking unit that I've come across yet. So let's have a quick look at what I've got stored in these ones here and why I love it so much. Let's do this. Alright guys, so let's get straight into it. It is extremely hot here in my garage. So what we've got is the Milwaukee Packout range. For those of you who don't know what Packout is, it's basically a storage solution, whether it's your organizer, whether it's your storage box, whether it's a rolling box, your storage tote, or in my case, I also use my Milwaukee backpack. Now this one here is also part of the Packout range. Packout meaning that you're able to interlock everything together. If we have a look at the bottom of the backpack, you can see there's a couple little lugs on the bottom. What that allows you to do is lock on your storage organizers on the bottom of that, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, and then I can completely free up my hands and I can take these organizers away with me. That's one of the probably the best selling point when I initially started looking at these organizers, but when I did start comparing the Milwaukee Packout against all its competitors, it's honestly in a whole separate league. Just from the make itself, the durability on all of this, from the clips to the plastic to the gasket to the organizer, everything is made absolutely heavy duty, and I'd honestly expect that from Milwaukee, especially at the price point. My reviews are 100% honest, so if I've got something negative to say, I'm definitely going to say it. The price point is definitely high, but at the same time, nobody else offers the same type of interlocking system or the durability or the versatility. So when it comes to price, they can really make any price they want because there's nobody else in their league, and you kind of have to pay what they're asking. And to give you guys a quick example, this one here is the slimline version or slimline model, and it's only the half size. So I'll get into why I get in the half size a little bit later, but just this one here is $47 in Australian dollars. So it is definitely not cheap, but when it comes to the build, it's definitely in a whole another league on its own, and that's why they can justify their price point. So like I said, interlocking system, which means I can unclip it, use those lugs on the bottom, place it on top of the other one, interlock it, and once again they're completely fixed and they won't come undone until I press the little tab at the front, slide it forward, and then it's completely released. So these ones here are the most versatile storage solution that you'll probably come across. And the reason for that is whether you're loading all of this on a truck, you're carrying it around by hand, which I do a lot of the time, or you've got them locked up on a shelf or on the back of the truck or in a storage box, wherever it is, you can always change around the configuration in order to suit the little area that you're working with, and that's why I love this so much. So regardless how my work changes, my workflow, the place that I'm working, even the industry that I'm working in, or the area that I have to store my tools, I can always continuously change and mix match everything around to make sure it fits. Like I said initially when I first bought these, it was mainly for my backpack, and I'll show you guys why once I show you exactly what's inside these main ones that I carry. And let's get straight into it, guys. So we'll start off with these top two containers here. So let's start off with these ones here because these are probably the most commonly used items that I use, and that's why I've got them in the Packout storage system so I can interlock them onto my backpack. So we'll open up my first one up here. You can see just how heavy duty this is. I mean, this plastic is so thick, especially when we compare it with the competitors, nothing else comes close. So we've got here a whole range of different timber screws or timber fixings. We've got some hex heads, we've got some roofing screws, we've even got some decking screws, a whole range of different types of screws that are the most commonly used ones for me. Anytime I take off to a job, even if I'm not too sure exactly what I'm using, this one here is the first one in line, and that's because we've got most of the common screws. So we've got here 30mm 8-gauge screws. I'm not going to get into too much detail into exactly what's in here, but these are the most commonly used screws that most people tend to use as well. So like I said, 30mm, 40, we've got 50s, 60s, we've got here 125mm, so there's a whole range of different screws. We've got our smaller ones here for any time that I'm using into cabinet or kind of like kitchen melamine material, because they come at 16mm, so we need to make sure that we've got something a lot smaller than that. Here we've got our 14mm screws. So these are the ones that I'll be using for any of my cabinet work, and the reason for that is to simply not pop through the other side. So like I said, these ones here are the most commonly used screws that I use when it comes to timber. This system here is designed to be used on its own, so you're not supposed to really be unlocking it while they're all on here as I'm doing now. So I'll just close this one here up, lock this one here over, lock that one, lock this one as well. They're designed to actually take off and then remove them around. So if we remove this top one here that we've already gone through, remove the next one. Underneath that, we've got our next set. So on the left here, I've got all my metal fixings. So pretty much the most common metal fixings that I've got here. We've got some flat heads on top. We've got some hex head tech screws. We've got some countersunk heads here, which are probably the most commonly used screw, this one, and also my hex head for any type of fencing. These are the most common screws that I'll use for metal applications. I've also got some nails in here, which I don't really use. I probably should take them out, to be honest. We've got some bigger gauge hex head metal screws once again. So these are all for my metal fixings. And then this little pocket right here, we've got a little specialty screw that so many people don't really know what it is, and I'm going to do a separate video on this one here later on. This one here is designed for getting into compressed fiber cement sheets. So anybody that's ever tried to put a screw through cement sheets, you'll know that it either splits or the head doesn't go all the way through. So these ones here have got a head that's designed to countersink straight into that material. Works perfect 100% of the time, and I'll do a separate video on that one there. If we have a look on this side here, I've got all my little anchors and plugs. So these ones here are the most commonly used plugs that I use. Whole different range of them, from your wall mates, and then we've got a whole range of different plugs. But like I said, this one here is just to show you guys the pack out range, and not so much to show you the tools that or the material that I've got inside. But let me show you guys just how well this works when it comes to my backpack. So like I said, I've got a big one here. The reason why I've got the bigger one on the bottom, which is the full size one, if you notice here, I'll put this one here back on the other side. So you can see the handles on the side here. If I wanted to carry this around, I'd have to carry it from one side, and that means it's not going to be balanced. It's not a very comfortable grip to be able to carry one from just one side. So what I did instead, I've got two smaller ones that I've got on top. I usually put two smaller ones on the bottom, which are the half size. Then I've got a full size one that goes all the way across. The reason for that is I balance the weight. I get two on top, two on the bottom, and I've got a handle here in the middle. That way I can just pick this up, carry it around with me, and that's the most comfortable way that I find to transport these whenever I'm not using my backpack. So I'll show you guys quickly the backpack. So like I said, with my backpack, this was the initial reason why I started looking at the storage organizers. Anytime I'm needed to get to a job site where I have to park far away. I live in Sydney, Australia, which means parking's a nightmare, for those of you who don't know. So anytime you have to park and walk over to your job site, sometimes there isn't on-site parking. So to carry all this material around is actually a nightmare. That's why I started off with the backpack. I can climb up the stairs, I can get to wherever I need to go to. Very, very convenient, especially now that I can put my organizers on the bottom of it. What I mean by that is if I needed to take one of these organizers with me, whether it's a box of screws, plugs, whatever it is, I can simply pick up my backpack, slide that on top, click it over, and then I can take up all of these with me. So if I wanted to carry all of these, I could take all of these on my back. If I needed just one, I can press the button, interlock it, slide it over, and now I can take just the one with me. So this is the best system that I've found to carry all this material. You can see just how nice and convenient it is. And like I said, that's why I picked the half sizes. So you can see here that the half size fits 100% perfect from width to width. So I don't have to risk any kind of knocking anybody or anything while I'm walking through corridors or while I'm actually carrying this on my back. The depth of it is also perfect, and that's why I keep the slimline ones. So if I needed a whole range of different materials, I can clip on as many as I want, lock them onto the bottom, and I'm ready to go. That's why I absolutely love this locking system. And honestly guys, if you went out there and did your shopping, did a bit of research, you won't find anything that comes anywhere near as close to this. So this is by far my absolute favorite system, and I thought I have to share this with you guys. I don't want people throwing their money around, and I'll be 100% honest. Like I said, the pricing is a little bit expensive, but what you're getting in quality, you can't put a price on. When I compared it with the competitors, there was absolutely no comparison. So everybody else has an interlocking system which doesn't necessarily interlock. They kind of sit in position, but they don't lock permanently. And the ones that do lock permanently, they're not very comfortable and they're not very versatile, and they can't be interlocked on a backpack, which Milwaukee has done. Like I said, I've previously used a whole range of different storage solutions, trying to get the most out of my organizers, trying to carry as many screws as possible, trying to carry as much material as possible. The last thing I want to do is have to forget something and then go back to the truck and go pick something up again. I've been through so many different other storage organizers, and to be 100% honest, this one right here is a cheap option, and this is what I was using up until using the Packout range. This one here's from Tactics, costs like $30 or $40 tops, and it actually worked very, very well. You can see it's got a handle on top, so I can carry that around. It's got 3 little shelves in there, and each shelf has its own little organizers inside. So it's a very common kind of solution or common kind of principle, but a lot of them work in principle but not in practice. So in theory they might look like they work. I remember I had one before this one here. It was like a folding suitcase. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It folds open, and you can carry it with one hand as well. So if you imagine a briefcase, got all your little compartments in there, and it's clear so you can see exactly what you're looking at. Looked like it was 100% exactly what I needed. You could fold it out, open up your compartments. I had a few issues with it. Number one, they'd mix all the materials around with it. So anytime I'd give it a good shake, my screws would go with my nails and my bolts would go with my washers, and everything would just go everywhere. And number two, when I did carry that up, and when I do carry all of my stuff, I load it up to the max. So I completely fill everything up with as many screws as I can, as many fittings as I can, and I'll carry that around. What I found was, because of all the weight, the doors would open up, or the covers would open up on it, and then that flap would just come open and all my screws would go all over the ground, and then I'd be sitting there picking up individual screws. The last thing I want. So up until recently, which was the Milwaukee setup, I've been using this one here and it works 100% fine. So you don't necessarily have to spend the money, but if you were going to spend the money, Milwaukee is the way to go. Just the simple fact that I can interlock it on my backpack is enough for me. However, the durability, the build, the versatility, I really love that build. I haven't come across anything that's anywhere near that. But if you guys want to see a video on me testing just how durable these toolboxes or the storage containers are, let me know in the comment section below, guys, because even I'm tempted to just drop it or go for a swim with one of these and see what happens. They do have a rubber gasket on there or a seal on there, so it should keep all the water out. Shouldn't be able to mix over any of the material. I've definitely given them a good shake previously and nothing's been mixing over. But if you guys are interested and you want to see me kind of run these into the ground and destroy it and see just how much effort it'll really take to break these or to damage them, let me know in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to drive over these and see how well they handle, and also go for a swim with them. So guys, my reviews are probably not Hollywood style, but they're going to be the most real kind of reviews you're going to get. I'm not going to try and steer people in the wrong direction intentionally, and I only tell you guys out of my own experience, so that you guys don't have to throw your money around or risk buying something that you're not going to be very happy with. These ones here are unbelievable. Like I said, if you guys want to see the durability test, let me know in the comment section below, guys. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching. Bill's out too.